Good morning, good morning, good morning. Oh, I need to buy my garbage pail kids. Oh, I need to add this to my P for P checklist. And I need to pull up my throat, bro. I can pull up my throat. No, I need to pull up my Kindle. Okay, good. Wow. Is that it? Just picking the reframe for today. Okay. Boy, this is going to be hot to trot. Today is going to be amazing. Amazing. Now, if I can pull up my P for P, actually it's PAP. Puppy. Penalty against Ponzi's. A little note. PAP. Data dump. Let's see. That's the 1 minute alarm. The 1 minute alarm. Order bike parts and work with Janice on shirt design and fathead sticker for bike. Okay. What's about to happen here? What's about to happen here? You know what's about to happen. There it is. Okay, you beautiful people. It's almost there. It's about to go off. Wait. There it is. Merry Christmas. You know what? It is a Merry Christmas today. You know, they always say it's 5 o'clock somewhere. It's Christmas somewhere, dang it. I know it's not, but you know, in my mind it is. Okay. My gosh. Can you tell I'm already sweating? I've already had one of those mornings. Well, good morning, business builders. And welcome to Business for Breakfast, where business is the most important meal of the day. I'm your host, Aaron Novinger, the Venti Business Guy, otherwise known as VBG. Our goal on this show is to make you 1% smarter today by unpacking business news over the last 24 hours, sprinkle with tips and tricks to help you mind your own business. Now, I feel like to make me feel good that you're here for me, but we all know you show up here at the end of the show for me, but the first half, it's for the morning mark. But you guys know, no prompts required, no drinks, no gear, just you and a functioning brain. We'll work with what we got. Wherever you are, desk, truck, kitchen, job site, standing or sitting, it doesn't matter. Pick one thing you will finish today, not a list, not 10, not 3, just one. Now mark it mentally and write it down. That is the line in the sand. That's the thing the day does not get to erase. That's the pause that sharpens the edge, the moment that turns noise into signal. And it's the tiny act that makes business owners dangerous in a good way. That, my friends, is your morning mark. All right, my beautiful people, you drive, I dive, buckle up, buttercup, and let's roll. Now, you all know that the very first thing that we always do, which is honestly, if you don't get 1% smarter with the very first segment of the day, then quite literally, you're not even listening. It's actually humanly impossible to get through segment 1, which is this day in history, and not be 1% smarter. But you guys know the rule is simple. For you guys, it is free membership to join our daily Business for Breakfast show, except it is one small requirement: a like and subscribe. That's it. You guys know it's a brand new show. I think I'm like 34, 35 episodes in, and the algorithm loves it when you let everybody know, okay, dude, he's crazy, but you know what? Why don't we send him around to some other people, right? So thank you guys. You have no idea how appreciative I am. Also, I want to let you guys know that this morning, I actually had to go out of town to go visit a couple of the accounting offices. So there'll be no show tomorrow or Friday. But trust me on this, AA Ron is back on Monday. Okay. So remember, no show tomorrow. No show on Friday, but AA Ron is back on Monday. Okay, now, are you guys ready for this day in history? Because I think it's going to blow your face, your mind, and your head off your body. My gosh, dude, I need my headband, bro. Feel the sweat? What's going on here, man? All right, I'm going to turn this light down a little bit. Hold on 2 seconds. Man, I feel like that light, even though it's like LED or whatever, bro, it was like smoking me, man. Like, I mean, I'm Italian, man. So I naturally have tan skin, but I look like I'm powder right now, man. Like these lights are crazy. I'm still working out the lighting thing. But between Jess and I, we'll figure that crap out. In the end, most of you guys aren't even looking at this ugly dude anyway. You're just listening to me. So, hey, listen away and don't even pay attention to what I look like. That's what most people do anyway. All right, here we go. This day in history. Now, I need to tell you guys something. Today, Wednesday, is Wasabi Wednesday. Now, wasabi, if you've ever had it, you know it's got a little heat. It's got a little spice. Got a little tea in there. Yeah. Well, the dealio is Wednesday is always Wasabi Wednesday, meaning one of the last segments we do is always what's going on in the news when it comes to celebrities and famous peeps and athletes and Housewives of Beverly Hills. You guys know it's one of my vices. Okay. I'm obsessed with them. Love all of them. Been watching them since day one. All right. Now, the rest of the Housewives are great. Love New York. Oh my God. Love Miami. Okay. Those chicks are fantastically crazy. Orange County's okay. Okay. Everybody says you gotta, there's others. I actually, for years, was big time into New Jersey. I don't even know why I'm telling you this. I know I'm literally losing listeners as I'm talking to you, but I need you to know at the end of today, we're talking tea and it is insanely spicy. So please, if you want to just tune me out during like the business news, whatever, and come back in, set your alarm for 7:45. Okay. We're 45 minutes now. We're actually 40 minutes now because it's 7:05. Okay. Now, this day in history, and you guys know this show is live. So today, all the news, all this day in history is always for today, being March 4th. So today, March 4th, this day in history, it's a day traditionally defined by new beginnings, from the birth of the U.S. Constitution to the establishment of major global indices. It's a date that invites us to march forth into the future while honoring the foundational moments of the past. Are you ready? Today, 1877, the invention of, drum roll please. Oh my God, that was like National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation where he's about to plug the lights in. It's like this, because they're going with their mouth. Here's the light switch. Kapow! The invention of the microphone. I just lit up the entire city street. The entire world of journalism has to thank Emily Berliner, because it's either Emil or Emily Berliner received the patent for the first microphone, originally designed as a telephone transmitter. This breakthrough fundamentally changed how we capture and transmit human speech, eventually paving the way for the recording and broadcasting industry. What? And yesterday, you guys know, pay attention, yesterday was what? Incorporation of AT&T and Alexander Graham Bell's birthday. Yeah, this is crazy stuff, bro. This is crazy, crazy stuff. 1957, the introduction of the S&P 500. That's right. The best top 500 companies, the index was created, replacing the S&P 90, became the primary benchmark for the American stock market. Insane. Today in history, 1890, the inauguration of the Forth Bridge, Scotland's Forth Bridge, an architectural engineering marvel of the Victorian era, was officially opened today. It was the first major structure in the UK to be built entirely of steel, a massive leap in material science and infrastructure, which we know our boy Carnegie was a big, big player in that. A major world event, this day in history, 1789, the US Constitution goes into effect. Today, bro, today. Dude, wow. This is like, a lot of you guys know that one of my little side passion projects is writing memoirs. And so I'm helping my grandmother write her memoir right now. And bro, hanging out with individuals that have seen 100 times more life than you ever will, and going this day in history, bro, it's like a tiny, I don't know, like Cliff Note history book. And I nerd out on this stuff and I love it. I hope you guys too. Like, to me, it's fascinating to me. And I just kind of feel like it's probably fascinating for you guys too. But the Constitution, officially went into effect as the first session of the new Congress met in New York City. This remains one of the world's oldest functioning constitutions and the bedrock of American law. 1933, FDR's Fear Itself speech. During the height of the Great Depression, FDR, Franklin D. Roosevelt, was inaugurated for his first term. In his address, he delivered his famous line, "The only thing we have to fear is fear itself." A call to courage that resonates deeply in business leadership. You all know that. You can't do what we do and be afraid. You just can't, bro. This day in history, 1918, first case of the Spanish flu. Oh, those Latinos. It was the first documented case of the 1918 influenza pandemic. It was reported at Fort Riley, Kansas. Of course, it was freaking Kansas. Honestly, that state needed something exciting. So they probably, because that stuff was all like created in the lab, winkety wink. And they probably like, okay, we need to release this somewhere. What is the one state in the union that is the most boring state of all of them, that when we release it, it literally will make world news because there's nothing competing with this news in the state? And like, okay, we've got Hawaii. No, it's everybody loves it. Texas, no, they're crazy. You can't do Texas. Florida, no, people like to vacation, so don't do Florida. We have Louisiana. No, you don't understand. Those Cajuns are crazy. Okay, look, guys. We know we have to go Midwest because that's the safest place for us to release it. That way it goes east, west, north, and south. Of all the states, man, Missouri's crazy. Oklahoma, bro, those guys are just as nuts as Texas. There are more cowboys in Oklahoma than there is Texas. It's got to be Kansas. We got to release Spanish flu in Kansas. That's literally how I envision this conversation going, right? This day in history, 1980. Robert Mugabe wins in Zimbabwe. Landmark social shift. Nationalist leader Robert Mugabe. There's some word. Mufasa. Oh my God. It's Ventura too. Bobby tuna. Your balls are showing. Oh my God, dude. Mugabe won a landslide victory to become Zimbabwe's first Black prime minister, ending decades of white minority rule. Famous birthdays. Bro, look. Can we give a shout out, please, to Mr. Rick Perry, the 47th governor of Texas and former U.S. Secretary of Energy? Oh, that boy don't play around, Mr. Rick Perry. No. But dude, today's his birthday. Why don't you guys give that dude a shout out on X? Wish him a happy B-Day, Mr. Rick Perry. Who else has a birthday? Catherine O'Hara, the Emmy-winning Canadian-American actress. By the way, Canadians have like the best actors. Okay, she's known for iconic roles in Beetlejuice, Home Alone, and most recently, her portrayal of Mara. I can never say it. I've seen like this show a billion times. But remember in Schitt's Creek, Mora. And she's like, remember the whole scene where she's like, David, you have to fold. And he's like, I know what you're saying, but I don't know what folding means. She's like, I can't be any more clear, David. You fold, David. I swear on my life. And by the way, the Levies, like that's the Levies, the son and the dad. Obviously, they're twins. You can tell in the show. That whole show literally has like 3 or 4 of the Levy family members there. But they literally were sitting around saying, if the Kardashians, the whole inspiration for Schitt's Creek came because they're like, what if the Kardashians lost all their money? Yes. Now do you want to watch it? You will cry every episode. It is fantastic. Okay. What else is going on in this day in history? Let's see. Really? 2022, the Mystery Moon Impact, a wayward rocket stage, likely from a Chinese lunar mission, accidentally slammed into the far side of the moon. This was the first known instance of space junk unintentionally creating a new lunar crater roughly 65 feet wide, highlighting the growing issue of orbital debris. Right. But it's not because we haven't been watching AJ on the Y-Files, and we actually know what the moon is and what it's made of and who inhabits it. We know it, people. We freaking know it, okay? And we know about the tall whiteys. We know about all of them, okay? And yes, for decades, we were all called crazy. But now, there's lots and lots and lots of us that are crazy. So it's looking less and less crazy, but we know what's going on with the moon. We know what else is going on. Shut up, dude. Shut up. For all you teachers out there teaching English, today is your national day. Are you ready for the fun fact, the national day today? Today is National Grammar Day. Yes, you grammar English teachers, today is your day to party. Yeah. You need to partay today. A little cranberry vodka, because I know you teachers love to have a wild good time. A little grammar, you're like, oh my God. And you guys sit around at the end of the day and you like all pass around like these puzzles. And it's like, find the missing period. I'm like, oh my God, I nerd out on this stuff. You freaking grammar teachers. But you know what? We love you. You changed the world. So today is your day. Today is your day. You know what else today is? Today is also your day, you business builder, because you want to know why? It is one of the things that everybody needs is assistance, man. Everybody needs it. Look, even Tiger Woods needs a swing coach. And the problem is whenever you're running your own business, your own organization yourself, you have to self-manage yourself. Unfortunately, the higher up you go, the less accountability we have. And even Tiger Woods needs a swing coach, which means we need swing coaches. And here's the deal. We're the only accounting firm on earth that actually provides you accounting plus accountability. We're the only accounting firm on earth that has free open source peer advisory groups, 12-week sessions that literally you'll get more done in 12 weeks than you have probably the last 10 years, all free to you. We do strategy, we do consulting. Spend half my week just hanging out with you guys and strategizing consulting. So look, if you guys have a question or you want to get to us, there's two ways. Go to businessforbreakfastradio.com, submit a question. I'll reply back or read it on air, or go to speakwithaaron.com, speakwithaaron.com. And you can schedule a call directly with me. It links directly to my schedule, and it'll be me calling you at that exact time. And trust me, we'll talk about anything you want to talk about, including how horrible the Cowboys are. All right, all right. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready for some juicy news? Juicy news? Juicy news. Come on, Matt. I can't say juicy news without doing it 3 times. And the last one looking like a donkey that just has peanut butter on his mouth, like juicy, like Mr. Ed, bro. Like, la, 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 la. That's how they got Mr. Ed to talk, bro. Peanut butter on his mouth. That's what I feel like I look like to you guys, is a horse with peanut butter in his mouth when I'm doing it. But it just makes me feel good, right? And that's the whole thing, man. Do you wake up in the morning as a thermostat or a thermometer? Right? So a thermometer's job when it wakes up in the morning is to read the temperature of the room. It actually does not set any temperature. It just reads the temperature. Or are you a thermometer? That's a thermometer. Are you the thermostat? The thermostat actually sets the temperature, meaning everywhere it goes, it sets the temperature in that environment. The show is to set your temperature, bro. Do not let today beat the hell out of you. It's Wasabi Wednesday. It's hump day. Trust me, with what I'm going to tell you guys later in this show about the tea that's going on right now, if it doesn't carry you until you go to bed tonight, you weren't listening, because it's that powerful. I promise you. Okay. Now, let's talk about that juicy news. Okay. Get ready. My word. Hold on. You guys know it is so much. Oh, it's so much. Okay, hold on. For an ADHD brain. Dude, like literally the secret code to working with your AI. It's like if you tell AI, oh, I have a disability called ADHD. Watch what happens, bro. It knows what that means, and it knows how you need to see crap. And even if you don't have it, it will literally translate and transform anything you have into something you're like, my God, is this not feng shui? Like, I just feel better now that I see the way it's laid out. It's like a cheat code. But speaking of cheat codes, let's just get into what's going on today, man. So, all right, here is our very first story. The SBA highlights working capital loans for U.S. homebuilders. What? And you guys know, bro, I read this with you guys live. My reactions are real and they are live. Okay. And when I have questions, I go to AI and start asking, and you guys will do it with me. We do this together, bro. This show is interactive. It is. The story is the SBA released a new advisory on March 3rd, specifically targeting small home builders and construction firms. The agency is pushing its expanded 7A working capital pilot, which allows builders to finance up to $5 million for project-specific costs like labor and materials. Bro, every freaking day I wake up. And dude, Mr. Orange Man's administration is just on fire for small business, bro. He's got somebody there that has the heartbeat for us living down the hill in the village, us peasants, right? But here's why it matters to us mom and pop Venti shops, because we already know construction is like insanely like cash intensive. It's very money hungry. Okay. But here's the deal. This pilot program allows us to borrow against the value of your current contracts rather than just the existing assets. Remember how it's always been? You can borrow up to 80% of the asset, right? Now you can borrow against the value of your contracts. Come on, man. This gives you insane liquidity to take on larger builds without risking your own personal equity. This is big. And I got a good friend of mine, Justin, owns a big concrete company. Dude, Justin, this is for you, bro. And by the way, guys, a lot of the stuff we talk about SBA, you guys know that as an accounting firm, we spend probably half of our life pushing paperwork for you guys. So if you guys need any help with this stuff, you guys know this is what we do every day. Just reach out to us. Hey, dude. Hey, Ron, this SBA stuff seems pretty cool, but how the hell do I do the paperwork? We got you, player. We got you. Hit us up at businessforbreakfastradio.com. Submit a question or speak with aaron.com. Personal scheduling website. You'll get right to me and we'll talk about this stuff. What else is going on in the news today? The news. I was like, the news. Oh my God. Why every day? Why is Dickie Bush my freaking favorite, bro? This dude literally writes like Shakespeare. One of these days, he is quickly becoming one of him and Justin Walsh, bro. These guys, you've never heard of them, but these guys just put fire content out every day. Cody Sanchez is fantastic. Dan Martell is great. Dave Bayer is great. But dude, Dickie Bush, when it comes to business, unbelievable. Here's what he says. You're stuck because you don't have a vehicle to practice. You're reading business books without a business. You're reading leadership books without a team. You're reading copywriting books without writing 10 tweets per day. This just in case learning is a waste of time. Instead of commit to something and learn just in time. Damn it, dude. Damn it, Dickie. I swear, this dude, okay, there's so much to unpack here. And this one thing that he said, you guys hear me say this every day. Success is a very simple two-part formula. You know, like when you're mixing like Bondo, it's like this part epoxy and this part glue, and you mix that crap together and stir it up. Here is how you here is the recipe for success. It's only two-part. 25% squeeze it in the bucket, 25% planning, 75% execution. Squeeze that into the bucket, 75% execution. Stir it all up. That is how you achieve whatever the hell you always wanted. And I'm telling you right now, bro, it is so much easier to read than it is. It's so much easier to read and to plan than it is to execute. That's the reason why execution is 75% of the formula for success. It's not even half. It's not even remotely close to half. It could literally be 85-15. I'm not exaggerating. That's how important planning and really execution is. And to Dickie's point, look, dude, yes, any one of these books will change your life. Any one of them. Okay. Who cares? Who the crap cares? Because reading, now you're addicted to learning rather than being successful. Are you addicted to knowledge? Are you addicted to application? Right? Are you a learner or are you an engineer? They're not the same, bro. You get this, right? They're not the same. Okay. I think you guys are getting this, right? Dickie, fire. Freaking fire. Freaking fire, dude. Bro, what else is going on in the news today? Here it is. You guys ready? Okay. Iran conflict sends gas prices soaring. Small biz fuel costs spike. So we already knew that anytime a big domineering economy gets overthrown or they lose and it becomes unstable, and if that economy deals with basically the gas station economy, right? Gas and oil, you're going to see some indifference. You're going to see some fluctuation. Luckily for us, supply and demand doesn't really affect the price of oil or gas that much. That's mainly OPEC. And so, which is really, I don't know, is it good or bad? It's probably good, to be honest with you. But here's the story. Rising oil prices tied to U.S.-Iran tensions are pushing pump prices higher, adding fresh strain. Just as many shops were recovering from stubborn inflation and existing tariffs. Small biz report higher costs for deliveries, employee commutes, and goods transport. So cost of fuel is going up. So if you drive, if you have transportation, and you guys bid out all your jobs, knowing here's what you would typically now, the cost of gas is going up. Now you got to go rebid, or you're going to be losing money on the job. It's happening right now. Like it's amazing when you kind of hang out in the Midwest and you see the price of gas being, I don't know, $2 to $2.50, basically most of the time. And then you go to California and it's impossible to find any gas under $5. And you're like, how does any human exist out here? Because the job is a job is a job. So a teacher is a teacher is a teacher. Like it's just a normal job. The person that works at the library is just a person that works at the library. Like I doubt that the librarian in California is making $50 an hour, while the librarian, I don't know, in somewhere Midwest Texas or Oklahoma is making $20 an hour. Like I don't know. It's just weird to me, man. But luckily for us, luckily OPEC is interfering in their midway in the formula for supply and demand, which is I think is good. But why it matters to us, because every extra cent that we have to pay on gas hits us because it's the delivery vans. It's just the supplier trucks. So like all of our restaurants that deal with Benny Keith, you don't think that their trip charge is going up? It is. It is, right? Like even the customer drive up traffic, right? Because now it's costing more money. The higher the cost of fuel, the less people drive. It's just the way it is. Okay. What else is going on in the news today? Huh? Okay, I won't do that because that is really annoying. Okay. Dude, Dan Martell, my boy, posted on X. Most people confuse activity with productivity. They're drowning in tasks, but not moving forward. Productivity is about producing outcomes, not checking boxes. And what I just said for all you Virgos just made your skin itch. I know it did, because my birthday is right in the middle of August. So I am half Leo and half Virgo. So I love the sun, I love people, and I love check boxes and check marks. Okay. And how we feel, and again, I'm like mixed. So I'm like half Leo and half Virgo. But how we feel coming from a blended mixed family. Okay. I feel like I get a lot done when I can get those check boxes done. But oftentimes that is just me in a hamster wheel, sweating my tail off, running as fast as I can, but not actually accomplishing anything. And so I'll tell you, man, how we overcome this and we build this in, and we actually use Mark Benioff's goal planning strategy that he does every year for Salesforce. And he's been doing this since Salesforce was a company you didn't even know of. And every year they basically go and they start every year with a clean sheet of paper. And the very first thing they do is they really just kind of, ask themselves, hold on, I've got it pulled up right here. Benioff, there it is. And so the first thing that they do, clean sheet of paper, is they say, this year, what do we want? I'm giving you the formula so that way you never feel what Dan just said. Right now. If you will do this right now, and by the way, we're still in Q1, so this is actually the perfect time to do it. And matter of fact, why can't you do this at all throughout the year? I would do this all the way up until basically Q2, and by Q3 or 4, I'm doing this for next year. Okay, but ask yourself these 5 questions. What do we want this year? What's important about it? How do we get it? What is preventing us from having it? And then how do we know we have it? Like, how will we know we have it? And then here's the kicker. Remember, success is what? A 2-part formula. 25% planning, that's the planning. But it's 75% execution, implementing, planning, implementing. Okay? And I said it's 75%. You want to know the secret to the whole thing? You then have to bake what you say into your daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, like organization. You have to build it in. Like you got to build in the checks and balance. You got to build it in. You got to bake it into the culture for the year. So what does that look like? You have to define it. Then you have to manifest whatever you want to do into the day-to-day operation of the organization. So quite literally, I'll tell you what it looks like for our organization. We've got what we call like the core five, and then there's the executive council. And so literally Tuesday is basically team day. So it's like all day meetings and everything with the team. And so we meet with the core, and the core. So we basically have everything. So we had a full goal planning session. Okay. Took everything and created a full year's action item list broken down month by month. And we have a checklist. And so quite literally yesterday was us reviewing, and it's typically the first thing we do every week is we go back to what our priorities and goals are for 2026. And every week we go back to make sure, are we on track? Are we on track? So quite literally where most people don't even plan this. And then those that plan never execute, because the easy part is actually the planning part. It's actually the fun part. The hard part is executing. Okay. That's the hard part. The fun part is planning it. But then you plan it and you're like, but nothing ever happens. What am I doing wrong? It's easy. The only way a plane gets to its destination on autopilot is constant course corrections. That's it. So the plane doesn't know how to fly straight. It just has a coordinate, and it knows every 10 seconds. It sees where it's at, GPS based, satellite based according to the coordinate, and it will autocorrect and course adjust accordingly. And so that's all we're talking about. Organizations that do this and bake it into and manifest it into the organizational day-to-day of the entity, the health of the entity, are the ones that win. What Dan is saying here, don't be about producing outcomes, okay? You need to be focused on productivity, okay? And focus on the outcomes, not just the planning, but you've got to focus on executing and the outcome of executing. Dan, well done, my friend, as usual. What else is going on in the news? Well, I tell you what, I know that this is something that you guys talk about all the time because we were just talking about it. And more often than not, we're looking at ourselves in the mirror like, what the heck, man? Like, I feel like I'm doing all the right stuff and I'm checking all the boxes, but I feel like I'm going nowhere. Look, man, you are not alone. Okay. I know that you feel like a black sheep and then there's nobody else like you, but I promise you, there's an army of black sheep out there just like you. Okay. So here's the deal. If you want to get unstuck and you want to strategize a little bit, there's two ways to reach us. Go to businessforbreakfastradio.com, submit a question. I'll reply back or read on air, or go to speakwithaaron.com, speakwithaaron.com. That's my personal scheduling website. We'll talk about whatever you want to talk about. Easy cheesy, bro. Easy cheesy. Okay. But we will literally get you guys unstuck. Okay. So you're working on producing outcomes that drive you closer to your goals, rather than staying busy and producing outcomes that make you feel good. Because there is a difference. There is a difference, right? And you guys understand what I'm saying, right? I mean, this makes sense, right? Okay, good. Okay. Story in the news. Story. All right. Hitting that. Make sure I'm on track, because I got to set that or I will go all over the place. Here's the story. Fed survey. Inflation remains number one headache for 73% of small business. Yeah, here's the story. The Federal Reserve's latest employer survey, I mean, it was just released yesterday, March 3rd, shows 73% of small firms cite inflation as their top financial challenge. 42% flag tariffs. Of importers, 48% respondents, 84% saw import prices rise last year. The Iran conflict could fuel even more inflation via energy costs. Why is this a big deal to us, man? Look, we can't absorb like endless cost increases. Bigger companies can do it all day long because their economies of scale are so big that when California decides to raise minimum wage for fast food workers, freaking McDonald's raises their hamburger prices by 10 cents, and the mom and pop has to raise their hamburger price by $2. Like, it's not even remotely close, right? I mean, most owners are already passing on customers or losing money on customers just to keep the business, right? So like anybody that's in construction knows your profit margins are 10 to 15%. You already have the slimmest margins like in like any industry. But that makes like your rent and inventory and all your staffing almost impossible to meet ends. Meaning the only way that you can make all this happen is to cut your pay, the profit, what you're saving for taxes. That's how you make it happen. I know it's not okay. It's not fair, but it's just the way it is, right? So hopefully there's somebody that's paying attention to AA Ron, because I'm giving you the voice of the people, man. The voice of the people. When I say the voice of the people, I'm talking to mom and pop venti shops, 1 to 20 employees. Venti means does not mean large because Starbucks. No, it means 20, 1 to 20. The mom and pop, the service space, the brick and mortar. The heartbeat of the economy, the reason why people will make their own rubber flat, like rafts, and they will grab a palm branch and they will paddle themselves across the ocean to get here with the clothes on their back and a couple $100, because they believe you can actually, after 20, 30 years, make something of yourself with nothing, with just an idea and hard work and determination. So no, somebody upstairs, somebody in the castle on the hill needs to be paying attention to this. Not okay. Not okay. What else is going on in the news today? Huh? Oh my God, bro. Tim Ferriss, why do I love you? I know I love you. Look, right here. This book, 4-Hour Work Week, by the way, you can tell this is basically version 1.0. Let's just see. I don't know if you can see. Hopefully, I don't know if my camera can show you this, but I'm just going to show you. Hold on. Here's the book. Okay, so look. I don't know if you can see, but I've got, dude, I probably have, I'm just flipping through this book right now, 50. Like I just underlined this right here. I don't even know what I underlined. People are smarter than you think. Give them a chance to prove themselves. Okay. What else did I bookmark in this thing? Never check email first thing in the morning. Instead, complete your most important task before 11 a.m. to avoid using lunch or reading emails as a postponement excuse. Dear God, bro. Like I know this seems like normal to you guys today. Learn to propose. Stop asking for opinions and start proposing solutions. Begin with the small things. If someone is going to ask or asks, where should we eat? What movie should we watch? What should we do tonight? Anything similar. Do not reflect it back with, well, what do you want to do? Unless you're married to somebody that no matter what you suggest says no. And then as a tool, so you don't go crazy, you make them pick, because no matter what you suggest, it's always going to be not picked. So you don't see this caveat here in the book, but it's right here. Let's see. Offer. So, well, what do you want to do? Offer solutions. Stop the back and forth and make a decision. Practice this in both personal and professional environments. Here are a few lines of help. Can I make a suggestion? I propose. I'd like to propose. I suggest that. What do you think? Let's try and then try something else if that doesn't work. Dude, every page, Parkinson's law. Dude, I learned that from freaking Tim Ferriss, bro. Like this book, dude, he is literally, for sure. This is top 5, probably most impactful business books that I've read, and I've read hundreds of them. Tim Ferriss, right here. So when I talk about Tim Ferriss, I want you to understand the history behind why I love this dude so much, because he doesn't just talk the talk, he walks the walk. So here's what he says. If you're suffering from a feeling of overwhelm, it might be useful to ask yourself this question. In the midst of overwhelm, is life not showing me exactly what I should subtract? What? Okay, hold on. What? My God, bro. Okay, so Tim, let me just unpack this again, because I think it's deep and meaty. If you're suffering from a feeling of overwhelm, it might be useful to ask yourself this question. In the midst of overwhelm, is life not showing me exactly what I should subtract? Which makes sense, because if you're engineering your perfect life, and every day, like for me to wake up in the morning at 3, like this morning I was up at 3:30, but it's not a chore. It's not discipline. I'm excited to wake up in the morning. I don't get excited about stuff. I don't deal with anxiety about stuff I'm excited about. I think he's saying we need to have a new reframe and change how we see this. And the stuff that we have to do, we have to engineer it in such a way that we get excited about it. And I think what he's saying is then it removes the anxiety. I feel like that's what he's saying. Are you guys say, tell me what you guys in the comments, tell me what you guys think of that. Like, I'm curious. Like, that's how I'm reading it. And so, and this dude is literally always like mind blown. Like he is like Marcus Aurelius. He's like stoic. He's Buddhist. He's common sense. He's I don't know. He's experienced. He's just I don't know. Tim Ferriss. One of these days, I swear, if I got a chance to meet him, I always talk about doing a conference with people. Tim is like, I'm like, no, that'd be like on a different level. I could never do a conference with Tim because, like, to me, he's on such a different level. That'd be like doing a conference with Joe Rogan. Like, to me, that's the same thing. Like, I always talk about, like, Dan Martell, Cody Sanchez, like, and these people are enormous in their space, but Tim Ferriss is on such a different level of reverence for me. It'd be like doing a conference with Rick Rubin. Okay, like there's like the Michael Jordan. Like me and Michael Jordan go teach like a school on basketball. No, I feel weird even being on the same stage, right? That's Tim Ferriss. Okay, so in the midst of overwhelm, is life not showing me exactly what I should subtract? Damn it. If that right there is not mic drop, I mean, if that's not pencil drop, I don't want to drop it because it's a mechanical pencil and I'll break the lead. But you know what I'm saying? Okay. Like that is for sure sticky drop. That's a sticky drop right there. Okay. Man, like, dude, Tim Ferriss, always blowing my mind, man. Always blowing my mind. Yes, I got to give my dude major love and props. What else is going on in the news today? Oh, come on, dude. No way. No way. No way. Okay. So listen, Supreme Court a couple weeks ago shot down one of the big tariffs. Okay. Said it's unconstitutional. So here's the story. Trump tariffs create refund chaos for importers. Like, here's the meat. Small importers of everything from chocolate to fig paste are tangled in uncertainty after the Supreme Court struck down broad tariffs. The March 3 New York Times reports owners debating whether to file for refunds while still facing supply chain whiplash. Why it matters to us mom-pop Venti shops. Refunds could refill our bank accounts. Joy. But here's the problem. The paperwork and wait times disrupt inventory planning and type capital you need now for your spring inventory. Okay. So here's the dealio. That's why this is so critical for brick and mortar retailers who rely on imported goods. And this is also why you might be tempted to file a refund and to get it back. But here's my worry and my fear if you do that. Okay. And again, it's not based on anything other than a feeling. The dude is already working a workaround for tariffs so that way he can just do a broad 15%. I feel like he's got his legal team saying the thing about a Trump personality type, they don't take no for an answer. I don't know if you know that type of person. You can say, hey, yeah, you can't do that. And they're like, right, but why not? Well, we've never been done. Right, but why not? Well, because X, Y, Z. Right, but why not? Right. You get what I'm saying, right? Okay. So if you apply and you get that refund, oh my God, I got a huge amount of refund back in tariffs and it does replenish my savings account. What happens if it gets reinstituted and then they go back and they get the money back from you? And now they charge you interest and penalty or penalty and interest because that's what the Treasury does. You owe the Treasury $1 and they will charge you penalty and interest on that for the rest of your life. Okay. So I don't know how I feel about this, man. I am neutral. In this. I'm tan. I'm soy. I'm neutral, man. I take the flavor of anything I'm paired with, So I don't know. I don't know what that looks like for us. But here's a great segue, though. Many small businesses say tariff refunds not worth the legal pain. And that's my point, because the business owner has to spend all 7 plates of business himself. Here's the 7 plates, the trade. That's what the customer knows and buy. That's the donut store, the dry cleaner, the florist, whatever it is. Okay. But that's plate 1. You'll spend the rest of your career just trying to master that plate and you still won't be there. That's plate 1. Plate 2 is the accounting plate. Plate 3 is sales and marketing. Plate 4 is HR. Plate 5 is customer service. Plate 6 is logistics. Plate 7 is IT. The owner has to spend all 7, bro. All 7. Please explain to me, when you spin all 7 plates, how the hell this owner has time to do refund paperwork. Now, it's the same group of people that couldn't apply for the ERC loans or tax rebates. The same people that couldn't apply for PPP loans because mom and pop venti shops don't have the resources, meaning money or people or talent to spin that plate. I know it's a joke. And so I just told you my theory is they won't do it because of the possibility of a clawback, but also they're not going to do it because they don't have time, right? Here's the good news. We do. Hello. Get in the back of the room. We do. Right here. Hand up. Hand up. We do. For 60 years, almost 60 years. 2028 will be 60 years that we've been in business as the mom and pop back office accounting firm, where we're the only firm on earth that's accounting plus accountability, right? We're the only firm on earth that helps you spin 6 of the 7 plates of business, starting with the accounting plate. We spend half of our time doing paperwork for you guys. Okay. So I know you felt like lost and who the hell can help me with this? You finally have somebody that's going to partner with you. So if you've been stuck, you've been trying to strategize, you need some consulting, you want to talk about accounting, you want to talk about bookkeeping, you want to talk about taxes, you want to talk about anything you want to talk about. There's 2 ways to get to us. businessforbreakfastradio.com, businessforbreakfastradio.com. Submit a question. I'll reply back or read on air, or you can talk to me directly at speakwithaaron.com, speakwithaaron.com. And literally you can schedule a call to talk to me about anything you want to talk about, including how horrible the Cowboys are. We will talk about that too. Okay. All right. What else is going on in the news today? Oh my gosh, bro. Okay. Are you ready? Okay. Okay. Really? Okay. I'm going through, like, I have so much news. I get to decide on what we focus on. Here's a story. Fair Competition for Small Business Act introduced. Here's the meat. A coalition of over 24 small business associations endorsed the Fair Competition for Small Business Act introducing in Congress yesterday. The bill aims to invigorate state-level antitrust enforcement to ensure independent retailers get the same supplier pricing as mass. What? What? I have prayed for this day, man. I have prayed for this day. Woo! Bro, that just hit my spirit, man. But you need to know why. I'm going to tell you guys something that nobody knows. 10 years ago, I had a premonition. And by the way, I've had prophetic dreams my whole life. And when I have one, I bet 1,000%. I've never been wrong in a prophetic dream. Never. And I had this 10 years ago, and I was reading a newspaper, and the newspaper said, and it was like a 20s, 30s vibe, kind of like the old Bugsy, like, yeah, Shane, yeah, like that type of vibe. And it was like black and white. I was reading this newspaper, and at the top of it said things extinct. And it said, and it was 3 things on the front of this paper. The first thing said the saber-tooth tiger with a picture, then the woolly mammoth with a picture. And then the second half of the page, the whole bottom half of it was mom and pop business. And I was like, what the hell? What does that even mean? And that's the way it always works with me. I get the vision first, and then I have to wait for the provision. Vision, then provision, meaning how it's supposed to happen. That never is the same time. And so I was like, okay. And then I start putting the plan together and realizing that you drive a car today because of John D. Rockefeller. I know you don't like him. I know. You think that he was this horrible shitbag because anybody that you know that makes lots and lots of money and you don't have it, they got it because they're assholes. I know you think that. But in actuality, people that rewrite history and change history typically are wealthy before they start the legacy project. They're a magnus opus. They're typically wealthy before they start their magnus opus. Okay. And so you don't understand, he put in place the standard oil trust because it was dominated by mom and pops. And he knew the only way to be able to negotiate better supply and vendor pricing was everybody had to consolidate. And for 10 years, I've been working on this. For 10 years. For 10 years. I'm actually, that's one of my big goals this year, is to put together our very first food contract, because we have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of small businesses we do accounting plus accountability with. And the average restaurant probably spends $250,000-ish a year in food spend. And they pay the highest cost of food of any of their competition because they have no economies of scale. And but collectively, about a third of our customers are mom and pop restaurants. And because of that, collectively, we, meaning our restaurant owners, collectively do about 50 million a year in food spend. Meaning day one, with our food contract, we can put together and get them 10 to 15% discounts day one on their main proteins, day one. And the goal's always been within 10 years, the mom and pops are going to be able to get better than McDonald's pricing for their food cost. But it's not just them, it's the mechanics, right? We need to get our independent mom and pop mechanics in the garages better than O'Reilly's pricing on tools and parts. Are you tracking? So when you see AA Ron flip out and get emotional over the Fair Competition for Small Business Act, I think it's probably the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. And I can tell you right now, I will be a part of this movement. Without question, I will be a part of this movement. I have to. 50 years from now, you will be reading about the mom and pop in the same history book as you do the saber-tooth tiger and the woolly mammoth, unless this is in place. Unless it's in place. Mark my words. You guys know I joke, I cry, but I am telling you right now, this is my magnus opus. It's why I get up in the morning. Elon's point, Aaron, where do you get the motivation from? What motivation? Either we do or we die trying. This is Cortez, bro. We either conquer or we get conquered, but we cannot retreat because we've already burned the ships. This will happen unless I'm dead or in a coma. D or C, it will happen. This is a big thing for me, man. Reach out. I'm making my notes. To fair competition. I don't have words, man. Competition. This is what I've been working on for small business. Act. God, dude. Wow. GPO, man. Wow. Wow. It's amazing, man. I'm kind of speechless, to be honest with you. I am. So, but look, talked enough about that. Okay. Can we shift into, and by the way, this is all, when you guys see me get emotional, it's because I'm overwhelmed with joy. My spirit is, I'm dealing with a lot of feeling of excitement and elation right now. This is all good. It's all very, very good. But you know that today is Wasabi Wednesday. And the reason why it's always gray and not a specific color, because we know for Wasabi Wednesday, right? This is always my little disclaimer. No matter how thin the pancake, it always got two sides. So when we're talking about Wasabi Wednesday, it ain't black and white. It's always 50 shades of gray. Okay. Now, can we talk about the tea that's going on? Because I have so much to share with you. Okay. First and foremost, you know that I have to start always, okay, with my, where's that? Hold on. That's that. Where's the, hold on. Today, I just pulled it up. Hold on. Because my Wasabi Wednesday is so freaking great, bro. So great. Okay, that's the daily plan. Okay. Where's my Wasabi Wednesday? Bro? What the H, dude? Okay, that's okay. Because trust me, it is Pure fire. Pure fire. Okay. Are you ready? Grab your chopsticks because we got some seriously spicy, straight from the source tea from TMZ. Dude, today is March 4th, and the Hollywood Bravo sphere is insanely boiling. This frog is being boiled right now. Are you ready for some Lisa lockdown? Okay, so again, love my Housewives of Beverly Hills, and specifically Lisa Rinna. First of all, I love both my Lisas, Rinna and Vanderpump. Love them both. Okay, but there's a $1 million myth that's floating around. Rumors set the internet ablaze that Lisa Rinna was offered a cool $1 million to return to Housewives of Beverly Hills to save a dull season 15. The only thing saving this season, if you've been watching it, is the manifestation chick herself, Amanda. Because everybody is talking about her. It's between her and all the shit Erica has to go through right now with the Tom Girardi trial and crap. But dude, and guess what though? Andy Cohen, my boy, went on Sirius XM yesterday. This is March 3rd, yesterday, to shut it down with ice cold finality. And he said, hey, here's the never list. And he didn't just deny the money. He dropped a bomb by saying there are 2 Lisas who are likely never coming back, referring to Lisa Rinna and my queen, Mrs. Vanderpump. It seems the door isn't just closed. The damn thing is deadbolted. Okay. All right. Newbies versus the vets. We already know. And you know I'm talking specifically my Housewives of BH. This is T specifically there. Oh, girl. The newcomer, Amanda. She's the self-proclaimed money queen. She's already in the trenches, bro. First of all, this chick decided to basically get Dorit and Kyle in a tiffy. And bro, if you've been watching season 15, you know that Sutton is different this year, okay? And I'm not the only one that's noticed it. The whole cast is talking about Sutton is amazing, bro. She's changed her meds. Like, obviously, whatever Erica Jane got on a few years ago, where she went from crazy ass to, like, totally calm and you can't get her to lose her mind. That's the same thing going on with Sutton, dude. Like, this chick is, like, ice cold. It's like she's like a Buddhist monk in her, like, emotional control. And, dude, they're all having dinner. Amanda says some shit, okay? And dude, Sutton's like, girl, you got to own it. Stop being a wimp. I swear to God. Go look. That's what Sutton said. She was defending Dorit, bro. You know those two have had beef for years, man. For years. Well, Sutton's had beef with everybody, let's be honest. Unless we're talking about her best friend, Jennifer Sutton, dude. I swear that chick is, you know what I'm talking about from Liar Liar? Like, and she's like, how much do you weigh? 135 pounds. And Jim Carrey's like, yeah, in your bra. That chick. Oh my God. She is the highlight of season 15. I love Jennifer Tilly. Okay. And she made all her money because she was freaking married to a Simpsons creator. Yeah. And her like settlement that she gets is like, I don't know, it's like it's either I think she gets $3 million a year. For the rest of her life, because that's her percentage that she gets from being married to one of the creators of Simpsons. I know, right? I'm like, okay, I need to get married to somebody that's Simpsons. I mean, I think Rebecca would be totally cool with it, to be honest with you. Like, she would be a part of the plan, right? What else is going on? Celebrity scuttlebutt. Woo! Massive. Quavo. Bro, you guys know the rapper Quavo. Dude's in massive tax trouble. Massive. TMZ is reporting this morning that rapper Quavo is facing a massive $3 million bill for back taxes to the IRS. And that is one of those things you ain't getting rid of, Quavo. No, bro. You start having some guavo, okay? You're going to need to drink a lot of coffee, man, because you're going to be up a lot hustling. But the great thing about rappers, bro, they hustle, man. They can create money out of thin air. So the weird thing is, this dude got where he's at because he knows how to hustle. You don't typically lose the skill of hustling, okay? Now, one of the things I've been talking about like every week, and dude, it just rubs me the wrong way, okay? The freaking Beckham rift deepens, okay? So forget the freaking Spice Girls, okay? The Beckham kids are bringing the drama. They're bringing the tea, bro. This moron, and you guys know, I try to reserve the scarlet letter M for moron for very, very specific cases. I just don't pull it out. I don't just pull it out. It's for very specific occasions. And Brooklyn Beckham, 100%. If I could do like an M squared right here, an M squared for being double the moron, that is Brooklyn Beckham. This dude released a lengthy statement this week detailing a deepening feud with parents David and Victoria. While Rebecca Luce, yes, that's Luce, is resurfacing with fresh claims just to keep the pot stirred. We all know that dude is married to a control freak who is isolating. And the Beckhams are doing what they need to do, which is wear the white hat. And I know for a fact, bro, you gotta understand, dudes and chicks are different. Dudes, and I talk about the rule, not the exception. So the rule is dudes are known by their identity is what they do, which is why when a dude loses a job, he typically goes into depression and the wife is like, what the hell is wrong with you? Go get a job. Okay. But the woman typically her identity is in her house and her family, kids specifically. And when you're someone like a Victoria Beckham, who did have a great career, but for the last couple of decades, her identity's been in those kids. This is crushing, absolutely crushing. I know I've got 2 kids that both went through their 20s, and kids in their 20s are morons. They're morons. And if I could say anything to the Beckhams, going through it, I've got a millennial and a Gen Z for kids, and both of them were idiots. I was an idiot in my 20s. And what I would say to the Beckhams, okay, is listen to me. Kids mature slower than dogs do. And what I mean is, so you know that we always measure dogs in 7 years, like 1 dog year is 7 human years. That's the physical age. The maturity age actually matures 50% slower. So for 1 year of a dog is equivalent to 10 years of a child, which means 2 years of a dog is a 20-year-old child, meaning a 2-year-old Great Dane is a child wrapped in an adult body. Beckhams, I just need, hear me here, please. And this is going to be very, very tough for Miss Victoria. And by the way, I got you, girl. I got you, Spicy. I got you. Okay. Because what you need to hear is you've got to chill and relax. And you know that saying, if you love it, you got to let it go. They're not leaving, but if you try to control it, you'll make permanent damage that can't be repaired. Okay. Especially when you know who Brooklyn's married to. She's waiting for you to do this. She's waiting. Okay. So your job is simple. You sit back and you think to yourself, they're just a 2-year-old Great Dane. The same way, if a 4-year-old goes on a tantrum, I hate you, you're a piece of crap, and a 4-year-old starts throwing like you as an adult, as a parent, like, okay, moron, go to your room, go clean it. But for some reason, when the kids get in their 20s, they're 2-year-old Great Danes, and we forget they're just kids trapped in adult bodies. They're basically Tom Hanks in Big, okay? And so if you guys can just chill out and hang out, keep wearing the white hat. You guys are doing this. It's a masterclass. We will write about how you guys handled this in the history books. Keep it up. You guys are doing it right. But in the end, do not try to control it. Let them have their thing. Trust me, they're hanging themselves. You guys already know that. They're hanging themselves. Okay. Oh my God. Speaking of tea, did you guys watch the season finale of Trader? Rob and Eric and Maura, the other Maura. Maura and Rob left, and she thought, and dude, she was thinking with her hormones the whole time. Everybody on planet Earth saw Maura falling for her hormones rather than logic. Everybody, Johnny, Tara, like literally the ice skating king and queen, or actually the ice skating queens. Come on now. Literally called it. Johnny called it weeks ago. He's like, it's Eric and Rob. I know I'm faithful. I know she's faithful. And I know Maura's faithful. I know these people are all faithful. It's got to be those two. And you morons voted off Johnny and Tara. Morons. Freaking morons. Okay. But here's a little story. Love is Blind. Vic from the latest season of Love is Blind had to take to threads this week to defend his relationship with Christine. Fans are calling them boring, to which he essentially replied, healthy isn't a TV show. Spicy. Damn it, dude. Because he's right. If shit is normal, trust me, if you had a camera in an engineer's house and you literally had 10 hidden cameras in the house of an engineer, 10 hidden cameras, each corner, and they didn't even know. They're like fly in the wall. A week later, you come back and be like, for the love of God, we have nothing. We have nothing. This chick's crazy. This dude's like pure engineer, talks her off the ledge. Quick question, what about this? What about that? Like there is no tea or drama with engineers, okay? When you're healthy, there ain't no drama, okay? What else? Okay, dude, I'm looking right here. What? No way. Really? NFL chaos, bro. The Chicago Bears are reeling after the stunning retirement of Pro Bowl center Drew Dahlman, and Kyler Murray is officially a free agent after being released by the Cardinals, sending every QB needy team into a freaking frenzy. But here's a little exclusive tip for you. Keep an eye on Miss Erica Jane, bro. Now, here's the deal. I told you before, she was dating this dude named John McAfee. John McPhee, okay? This dude was released from Green Beret Special Forces. Okay, by the way, this is by memory, so don't quote me exactly. I'm talking special ops crap. And was released because of bad behavior. The dude's crazy. He is crazy. And Erica, if you saw the latest episode, she's been with a therapist talking about abuse of a recent relationship that she had. And now she's spotted with a new dude. So 2 + 2 equals, we have an idea who she's talking about. But she also knows the dude's crazy. She can't say his name because he's crazy, okay? But she knew going in, he was cray-cray, okay? But keep an eye on Erica, bro. She was spotted out in Beverly Hills last night with a rumored new man who looks suspiciously like a high-profile attorney. Is she looking for love or just a really good defense? Or is she looking for defensive love? Come on, man. Bro, are we all not just crying right now? I know you are. Okay. Now, I knew that you guys would flip out over Wasabi Wednesday, and I told you that if you held on, you were going to flip out. But now we have to get into the best reframe you've ever seen or heard from our boy, Scott Adams. Right here. How to reframe your brain, bro. This dude wrote this. He passed away January 13th of this year. The show is in memory and honor of him. And chapter 2 is what we're in today. Managing energy instead of time. This is chapter 2, success reframes. Okay. All right. You guys ready? You ready to hang out with me? And let's just finish off the day. I already know you learned 1%. You're probably up to like 4 or 5% today that you've learned. I know. If you've been with me the whole time, you're at least 4% in. Now, I need to understand. Remember this one thing. There's no show tomorrow, Thursday or Friday. I'll be on the road visiting the accounting offices. So you will see this dude bright and early Monday morning for a magical Monday morning, which means Josh is coming, Jawsh. I've got, dude, my favorite. He is the turtle from Nemo, bro. Bro, if you catch the wave and ride the surf, bro. This is Josh. Okay, so Monday morning, get ready for it. But here's the reframe for today. This will change your life. Are you ready? Here's what Scott said. Verbatim, I'm reading what he wrote. I've written approximately 11,000 comic strips. He is the creator of Dilbert. I've said this a million times. He will go down in history as our modern day Oracle, the guy that intelligent and that smart. Here's what he says. I've written approximately 11,000 comic strips since the beginning of my cartoon career in 1989. Nearly every one of those comics was written before 9 a.m. If I write a joke at 5 a.m., I usually like how it turns out. If I try writing a joke at 3 p.m., I'll probably end up tossing out whatever I produce. I think of this as managing energy, not time. I have exactly the right kind of energy for coffee-fueled creative writing in the morning. But a caffeine buzz is exactly the wrong kind of energy for drawing comics, as that requires a more relaxed vibe. So I write in the morning when writing is easy, and I draw in the evening when drawing is easy. That's managing energy, not time. Here's the usual frame. Manage your time. Here's the new reframe, the new way of approaching this. Manage your energy. In my experience, the energy I have for a task is more important to the outcome than the amount of time I have allocated to do it. I can produce more in 15 minutes with the right energy than 4 hours with the wrong energy. Most creative people will tell you something similar. There's a time of day that works best for creative work and other times that do not work at all. The same holds for exercise. I have the right energy for exercise about noon each day so that when I do it, and I assume I get better outcomes compared to exercising when I'm at low energy. The secret to managing energy as opposed to time is to gain as much control as you can over your own schedule. If you have a boss, You might not have options about when you do that. If you have a spouse or family or pet or other obligations, those too can force you out of more productive and happy energy management mode into time management mode. That's why I say you should favor life choices that give you your schedule flexibility. For example, if you get 2 job offers that seem equivalent, but one gives you more schedule freedom, take the freedom. Likewise with relationships, if you are equally attracted to 2 people and need to choose, consider picking the one who gives you the most schedule freedom. Freedom is a good tiebreaker for decisions with unpredictable outcomes. The other good tiebreaker is how much you will learn in one situation versus the other. Can I get a woot woot? Can I get a woot woot? Come on, Mr. Adams. Did that reframe not change your life? Was today not the greatest Business for Breakfast episode you've ever seen? You guys know what we talk about here is easy and you know it's hard, right? But if you think it's easy or you think it's hard, you know you're right. Don't just work in your business. Guys, make sure you mind your own business. All right, my beautiful people, you got the news, you got the tips and tricks. Now go own this day. My name is Aaron Novinger, the Venti Business Guy, and you know what time it is. What time is it, guys? What time? You know what time it is. It's time to get to freaking work. All right, pow!